our next topic is IAMSAR. Now, IAMSAR stands for International Aeronautical and Maritime Search and Rescue. Now, aeronautical and maritime. So, there is an aviation industry and maritime industry involved. Under the aviation industry, we have the International Civil Aviation Organization. Under the maritime industry, we have the International Maritime Organization. Now, the International Civil Aviation Organization and the International Maritime Organization, in conjunction, jointly publish the three IAMSAR volumes. Volume 1, 2 and 3. Now these volumes, they provide guidance for a common approach for the maritime and aviation industry in order to organize and provide for the search and rescue services. So this is what the volume does. Then we have volume 1, 2 and 3. Now each of these volumes can be used as a standalone document, or else they can be used in conjunction with the other two documents in order to attain the full view, or in order to attain the full view of the search and rescue system. Okay, then states are encouraged to develop their search and rescue services, improve their search and rescue services, as well as cooperate with the neighboring states in order to provide for the search and rescue services, as well as to consider the facilities of their search and rescue services as a part of the global system. So this is what is a basic introduction to IAMSAR. And we'll be looking into how these facilities are considered as a part of the global system. For example, if there is a search and rescue mission to be conducted in Arabian Sea, then the facilities from India as well as the search and rescue facilities of Pakistan are considered as a part of the global system. They have to work in cooperation in order to provide for the search and rescue. Now, the primary purpose of IAMSAR is as follows. It is to assist states in meeting their own search and rescue needs and the obligation that they have accepted under the following convention, which makes them obliged to provide for search and rescue services and to provide the search and rescue services as a part of the global system. Okay, so these conventions are as follows. Number 1 is the Convention on Civil Aviation. Number 2, the International Convention on Maritime Search and Rescue. Number 3, the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, the SOLAS Convention. So these are the conventions which makes an obligation. The states are obliged under these conventions to provide for the search and rescue services, and that their search and rescue services form a part of the global system. Hello friends, let's look into the IAMSAR volumes. We have volume 1, volume 2 and volume 3. Now volume 1 is the organization and management volume. Now, organization and management, this is the primary function of your SCs. Okay, the SCs are your top level managers. So the search and rescue coordinators are the primary users of your volume 1. Now what does volume 1 contain is as follows. Now number 1, it discusses the global search and rescue system. Okay, and it discusses the establishment and improvement of national and regional search and rescue systems, and it also discusses regarding the cooperation with neighboring states to provide effective and economical search and rescue services. Now, how do they provide for effective search and rescue services is that when 2 or more states work in cooperation, okay, more facilities are involved, much more larger area would be covered, the scope changes. You have aircrafts involved, you have vessels involved, you have divers involved. So the scope changes and hence the effectiveness of the search is met. How do they meet the economical factor? Now remember that the IAMSAR is a global system. This is a global system we are working with, but the approach is regional or national. Okay, so whatever the cost comes, it is shared globally. Then, as I told you, the primary users of volume 1 are your SCs, your search and rescue coordinator. Moving on to our next volume, which is volume 2. Now volume 2 is named as the mission coordination volume. Now mission coordination, now who does the work of mission coordination? It is your SMCs, your search and rescue mission coordinators. These are the personals who do the work of your mission coordination. So the primary users of volume 2 are your SMCs, your search and rescue mission coordinators. Now what does volume 2 contain is it provides guidelines to assist personnel who plan, coordinate the search and rescue operations as well as exercise them. So this is what is the function of volume 2. So how to plan, how to coordinate and how to exercise the mission is what the guidelines are provided under the volume 2. So moving on to IAMSAR volume 3. Now IAMSAR volume 3 is named as the mobile facilities volume. Look at the word mobile facilities. It is for the on-scene coordinators, which are present over there. So the primary users over here are your on-scene coordinators. Your OSCs are the primary users of volume 3. Now what does volume 3 have? Volume 3 provides the guidance. It is intended for carriage by all rescue units, aircrafts, vessels, and what does it does is it provides, it helps with performance of a search, rescue and the coordination functions to be performed in case of emergencies pertaining to others, as well as in case of search and rescue emergencies pertaining to one's own emergencies. So this is what the guidance are provided under volume 3, and the primary users are your on-scene coordinators. So what it does is it provides for guidance for how the search and rescue has to be carried out, what are the search patterns, what are the distress you need to send, and how are you to coordinate for these search and rescue functions. So friends, let's look into the duties and responsibilities of your SCs, SMCs and OSCs. So first and foremost are the SCs, the search and rescue coordinators. Now search and rescue coordinators are your top level managers. Why are they called so? We'll let you know in just a while. And they are the primary users of volume 1, which is the organization and management volume. So the main function which they'll be performing is of organization and management. So let's look into how they perform these functions. So this is a hint what we get from volume 1, and what are their duties and responsibilities are as follows. They have the overall responsibility of establishing, staffing and managing the search and rescue system. Okay, they have the responsibility of establishing rescue coordination centers and rescue coordination sub-centers. They have the responsibility of providing and arranging for search and rescue facilities. For example, aircraft, it may be a vessel, it may be divers, anything, etc. Then coordinating the search and rescue training is also their duty and responsibility. Then developing of search and rescue policies for states and other governments. This is what are the duties and responsibilities of your SC. So moving on to number 2, SMCs. Now the SMCs are search and rescue mission coordinators. They coordinate the mission from the beginning till the end. So the duties and responsibilities of the SMCs are as follows. SMC guides a search and rescue operation until a rescue unit has been effected or it becomes apparent that no further rescue would be of no avail. Secondly, SMCs obtain and evaluate all the data on the emergencies. Once they evaluate all these data, they ascertain the type of emergency equipment carried by the missing craft or the distress craft. Then they remain informed of the prevailing environmental conditions. Now, if necessary, they ascertain the movements and location of vessels and alert shipping in the likely search area for rescue, lookout and for radio watches. Now they plot the areas to search and decide on the methods and facilities to be used. So remember, SMCs, your search and rescue mission coordinators, they are the ones who plot the areas to search. They decide on the methods and the facilities to be used for search. Okay. Whereas your SCs, they provide for these facilities. Then SMCs develop the search action plan and rescue action plan. The SMCs, they coordinate the operation with adjacent RCCs when appropriate. They arrange for briefing and debriefing of search and rescue personals. The SMCs evaluate all reports and modify search action plan as necessary. The SMCs arrange for refueling of aircraft and for prolonged search. The SMCs make arrangements for the accommodation of search and rescue personnel. They also arrange for the delivery of supplies to sustain survivors. Then the SMC maintains in chronological order an accurate and up-to-date record. The SMC issues progress report. It recommends to the RCC chief the abandoning or suspending of search. The SMC releases the search and rescue facilities when the assistance is no longer required. The SMC notifies the accident investigation authorities. And finally, the SMC prepares a final report. So these are the duties and responsibilities of your search and rescue mission coordinators. Now let's look into the duties and responsibilities of the on-scene coordinators. Now remember that the SMCs will designate an on-scene coordinator who may be the person in charge of search and rescue unit or an aircraft or ship participating in the search. Okay, so the search and rescue mission coordinators will designate on-scene coordinator. Then these coordinators may be nearby facility in position to handle the on-scene coordinator's duties. The person in charge of the first facility to arrive at the scene will normally assume the function of the on-scene coordinator until the SMC arranges for that person or the unit to be relieved. So it is the SMCs, the search and rescue mission coordinators, who are going to designate an on-scene coordinator. And remember that your SMC, your search and rescue mission coordinators, are the one who are the centermost facility. Okay, and your SCs and your OSCs, your search and rescue coordinators and on-scene coordinators, coordinate with the search and rescue mission coordinators in order to fulfill the mission. So this is the whole introduction and the whole system, how they work.